So hello, welcome to the Autism Unhinged channel. If you are watching this video, you are watching the pilot episode, the first ever. Now you may be watching this straight after we recorded it, or you might be watching it in 2030, who knows. This is a channel that is born out of a need to be productive with time. Let me explain. Our son, who has just turned 11, started secondary school today. He is autistic. We've known about that since he was about 3 years old. That's been an interesting journey for us over the last 8 years or so. And we've lived it, we've embraced it, we've learned a hell of a lot of lessons, and we've kind of adapted our lives around it. The school that he started today isn't local. So unlike a lot of the children around this area, a lot of the friends that he'd made in his junior school, he's going to a school that is further away. And the reason for that is because the local ones just weren't what we wanted, and they weren't what he wanted from a nurture perspective, from a mainstream school. So the school that he decided on is across the other side of town, and it requires me to take him and pick him up every day. And if you factor the two journeys in, it's a couple of hours a day out of my working day, which my wife and I run our own business, so from a flexibility point of view, that's not an issue. But from a actually getting some work done perspective, 2 hours is a lot. So we obviously had to factor that in. So what I decided to do, in my wisdom, was use this time to create content, to share the conversations that he and I have, which, to be honest, are hysterical a lot of the time. Some of the stuff he comes out with is just absolute gold. But also the opportunity then to educate and inspire and entertain around the world of autism, because there's a hell of a lot of people that don't understand it, and they've got massive question marks around it. And it's something that inspired our entire business. Our social media agency called Think Unconventional was inspired by him, by his autism, by the way that we go about life on a day-to-day basis. So that's the story behind this channel and this journey that we're about to go on. To give you a bit of insight into myself, those of you that know me from other social media channels will know that earlier on this year, I was, after years of questions and frustrations and watching Jake and obviously the things that he does, I was diagnosed with autism and ADHD, and we'll come on to the way those two fight each other in other videos. But what that did for me was, instead of me talking about autism through Jake's eyes, I was able to then talk with a bit more authority on it through my own experiences, which is exactly what I wanted to be able to do. It just gave me a little bit more confidence to share my own experiences, and it also answered a hell of a lot of questions that have been going on in my mind for years, especially since starting the business in 2022. So now father and son have the opportunity to have those very autistic conversations and share those, and answer a lot of questions, possibly for you, the audience. Plus it gives us a very productive and kind of fun way to use these 2 hours a day by creating content. So that's the plan. To give you an idea of how raw and uncut this is going to be, I'd actually already recorded this video once this morning on my way back from dropping him off at school. I'm currently on my way to pick him up. It's 2:30 in the afternoon, and I'm on my first run back to the school. When I played the recording back, because it was so hot this morning, I had the air conditioning running, I had all the vents open in the car, and the microphone on my camera setup was picking up all of the air coming out of the vents, and it was horrendous. So although I want it to be uncut, I also want you to actually be able to hear what I'm saying. So I've had to restart, and fingers crossed, I mean, the fact that if this is up on YouTube, it means that the sound is acceptable. But I have already done it. The nature of this video is going to be very raw and very uncut. We do a lot of YouTube videos for our business, but they're not very frequent, and they're highly edited because of the nature of what we do. I don't have time to do that for this channel, and I think because we want this to be quite authentic, the idea with this is that it is very raw, very uncut. Obviously, if we've got a 5-minute break in talking because we both feel like being quiet for a bit, I'm not going to make you sit through 5 minutes of silence. But in general, it will be very uncut. There won't be any frills, there won't be any fancy editing. It will just be from camera, computer, YouTube. That's the goal with this. And that allows us to be quite frequent. So that allows us to maybe post every other day with the content, which is what I want to do, because I really want it to be quite story based. I want you to be able to follow on with us and the evolution of Jake through secondary school, the evolution of myself through the business. There are a ton of stories that we are going to be telling about what it's like for someone in my position to start a business and run a business and be successful in that business. So you'll get a real adult perspective of autism and a younger person's perspective of autism. So, you know, if you're interested and you're watching this, I would really appreciate it if you would subscribe to the channel, be an early subscriber, and hit the notifications, because the videos will be coming thick and fast. We will be turning it into a podcast as well, because we do have our own podcast, the Unconventional Podcast. So that will be, I'll be putting it on the podcast outlets as well. But I do expect most of the viewings, shall we say, to be on YouTube. Maybe I'm wrong, I don't know. But so yeah, that's the goal with the channel. That's the goal with what we're trying to achieve. I really, really, really hope that people will follow along and see that transition, see that change, and hopefully answer a lot of questions for yourselves along the way. And the goal really is to help as many people identify things in themselves, their children, because I have to be honest, knowing what I know now about myself has been game changing for me in terms of how I approach my job, how I approach the business, just how I approach my mental health in general, because it is tough, especially when the two are battling it out. And again, we'll come on to that in a separate video. So thank you for watching the pilot. Jake isn't in the video yet, as obviously you've already noticed. I am on my way to pick him up now. If he says he wants to be in it on the way home, then we may extend this video out. My intention is to give him this week just to get his feet under the table at school. I don't really want to stress him out by putting a camera in his face, although to be fair, he does love it. But I think this week's going to be far too much. So for the content this week, it will probably just be myself, unless he says otherwise. And then next week, my hope is that we will introduce Jake so that the conversations between him and I can go backwards and forwards. And I think that's where the true value is in this channel. And I've got a bunch of topics that we're going to be discussing, and I think what I'd like to do over time is that people can suggest topics in the comments, and then we can pick those comments up and run with those topics each day. He loves chatting about random stuff, so the more random the better, I think, because he's got a very random brain, which I get now. So yeah, thank you for watching. This may not be the last segment in this video, but I don't know yet. If it is, fine. If it's not, then we might see you again in a matter of seconds.
Oh, are we recording now?
Yeah, why?
Oh, okay. So this is our first one.
Well, I said at the end of my last segment that you might not want to come on this, but you have.
Yeah.
You've wanted to come on it because you're
Jesus.
a big YouTuber.
I'm not a big YouTuber.
You want to be though.
Yeah, I want to be.
You want to be a big
I
YouTuber.
want to be.
Oh man, look at the traffic.
What
The
traffic?
traffic here already.
Where?
So, this is the pilot, as you all know. This is literally seconds for the viewers from when I last spoke. But this is the man, boy. The inspiration behind everything that we do. And he's had a good day. He's had a solid 6 out of 10.
Yeah.
A solid 6 out of 10. Now, we've got to cover
Yeah.
some ground rules for this YouTube channel. Do you know what they are?
No.
Right. So we've got to cover some ground rules. And one of those ground rules is we can't talk about individual people on the channel.
What does that mean?
Well, you can't go talking about people at school that might have upset you, or people that you like, or perhaps aren't so keen on, or anything like that. We don't go down those roads.
Oh, you can't do that because then they could watch it. And yeah.
This is the thing. So what we need to do is make sure that we're just on topic all
Yeah,
the time.
We can't talk about anything personal.
Not really. Well, we can, as long as it's just about us.
Yeah, as long as, I mean, like we can talk about personal. Well, in this case, personal would just mean that. Not
Yeah.
anyone else. Wait, could we? No, we can't. Can we talk about Mum and Josh?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, we can talk about Mum and Josh. But just let's not do anything that, says anything about anyone else.
Okay.
That's not necessary. Should we go motorway, or I think we'll go motorway. So, a solid 6 out of 10, which I think is a pretty good score for a first day at secondary school,
Yeah.
to be fair. I didn't really expect much more.
I thought we were pretending the camera wasn't here.
We are pretending the camera's not here. I'm not looking at the camera. You're not looking at the camera, are you?
I am now.
I don't.
It's hard.
I've forgotten it's on.
You forgot it was on.
Yeah.
There's a microphone right there pointing at you. How can you forget it's on?
Which has probably just picked up your ridiculous lack of volume control.
Oh.
Yeah.
How good is that camera?
That's a good camera.
I'll say it won't go static when you're loud.
It shouldn't do.
Oh, but
I mean, you might
that's reassuring.
You might have just deafened the audience, but
Yeah, that's fine.
there's subtitles, so they won't mind being deaf.
Oh, you're adding subtitles on this?
Well, no, YouTube puts subtitles on, doesn't it? They're not always
Yeah.
accurate.
Oh, yeah, no.
But yeah. Oh, I couldn't get your glasses, by the way.
Huh?
Your glasses, your new glasses. I was going to try and get them for you today, wasn't I? But they said anyone under 16, the person has to be there. And I explained that you can only go at weekends. Weekends, they can't give us a timed appointment at Specsavers. You're autistic. When I was actually really meaning that I'm autistic as well, and that I don't really want to be there on a Saturday. She weren't budging.
So we can't get the glasses until half term.
No, I think we've got an appointment for this weekend.
You just said they can't.
No, they can do it at the weekend, but I just tried to give it the big one that we don't like going in there at the weekend because it's double busy and we don't like it busy. But she basically said go in at 8:30 and that's when they open and it's really quiet. But I can't see us getting out of the house and getting into Specsavers for 8:30.
No.
That's just not going to happen. Be lucky if Mum's out of bed by 8:30.
Yeah. Oh well.
Yeah. So you're going to have to wait a little bit longer for your new specs.
Did
But
you
I got mine
forget
though.
the camera's on again?
Huh?
Did you forget? I was gonna smack that. I can't shake the feeling that the camera's on.
Yeah, but that'll
You
come.
can.
That'll cut you, but I'm well versed.
I mean, like, I kind of forgot the camera was on.
Huh?
I kind of did forget the camera was on.
You got the best view. Luckily, the camera is obviously a lot closer to you than it is to me because it has to be over that side from a driving perspective. And it's further away from me, which is good because I am not as good looking. You
Okay.
are much better to look at than me.
Really?
Yeah.
But you got the shades.
Yeah, don't Shades don't cover up other things though, mate.
Like what?
Noobs?
The shirt does.
The shirt doesn't. The shirt doesn't.
It does.
Trust me, I've watched it back. The shirt doesn't cover anything.
Does not.
No. But it is what it is.
What's that information on the side of the screen?
That is stuff that I don't understand.
For the camera's upside down.
The camera is upside down because it has to be because of the mount. But
Why can't you just...
no, because
flip
it
the mount the other
wouldn't
way?
work. But it doesn't matter that the camera's
Yeah,
upside down because it still films the right way up.
Yeah, but with information. What if I tilt
I don't
my
need
head?
to read the information.
Yeah,
As long as it says record.
It says rec.
Yeah, which is short for record.
How do you make it stop recording?
Do you want to get any closer? I'm not sure people can see down your throat. Well, you don't stop recording until I stop the car. Because to make sure that we're being safe, I don't touch that while the car's in motion and on.
Yeah,
So it just runs for the duration of our journey.
I was like, it runs for the duration of the journey. What if we're not talking?
I'll cut that out.
Okay.
I want minimal edits though. The point of this is, as I've said to you, is raw and uncut. So I want minimal edits, minimal cuts. So we kind of need minimal times where we're not talking. But as you said earlier,
But that's hard.
it is hard. And there will be days where we don't want to talk at all.
Pardon me. Yeah, so we just don't record those days.
We don't record those days. Or I just record on my own, on one of the journeys. So I record on the journey to get you or after I've dropped you off. That's a nice tongue.
Is there the point where we're not talking?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you feel like you've had enough? Because we can turn it off for now.
Yeah, we can.
Yeah.
Can. But
Do you feel like we've done enough for the pilot episode?
yeah, because I feel like
And we can recharge for tomorrow?
yeah, because like, there's only so much you can talk about.
Well, moving forward, I'm going to come armed with topics.
I'm the top. Can I help with the top?
You can definitely help. You need to write the topics. That needs to be your input to
Yeah,
this
we
channel.
need. Wait, am I a topic person?
You're a topic person.
Oh wow. So what? Like, who's a camera dude?
What?
Who's a camera dude?
I'm the camera dude, yeah. And you're the topic person. We need to come up with better names for those labels as well.
You're the topic.
The topic person's rubbish. That needs to be changed. Double quick.
What about a topic dude?
No, camera dude. Topic dude and camera dude. No, let's do something beginning with T.
Topic decider.
Topic.
The decider of topics. I like that title.
That's rubbish.
Oh.
Topic. Terry?
The topic.
No?
Did you just say topic Terry?
Topic Terry?
I'm not called Terry.
You're not called Terry, no. Anyway, you're the topic Terry, and I'm the camera Colin, and that's your job. So tonight, have a little think about topics. I've got a few lined up that we can use, and hopefully in time, as the channel grows, we might get the people watching the channel to suggest some topics.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's the plan.
comment down below your topics.
Comment down below your topics. You watch far too much YouTube. What else do you need to say before we cut off?
Oh, I can't know.
Yeah. You don't want to give it all away in one day.
Yeah, that's true.
So
Okay.
what else do you need to say to the audience? What would your YouTubers that you watch say before they cut off?
Peace out.
No, don't say peace out. Oh my God, we're not American.
You asked what would the
Peace
YouTubers
out.
say?
No, what do they do? What do they tell the audience to do before they go? It's not something you ever do, but what do they say? What does Unspeakable say like 800 times a video?
Subscribe.
Subscribe to the channel. That's what he says. So, that's what you've got to say.
Okay.
Go on then.
Subscribe.
Brilliant. I bet they're all rushing to the subscribe button after that, Jake. Maybe after a few more days you'll have a bit more enthusiasm.
Subscribe!
That's better.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Wait, but we can't cut off because you're driving.
I know.
So we're just gonna have to keep talking about things.
Well, you can do if you want. We
But-
could always upload that on a different day.
Yeah.
This hasn't got to all be on the same day, you see.
Yeah, I
It could
feel
just
like-
be one continuous stream. So what do you want to talk about for the rest of the journey? What topic? Come on, topic, Terry.
Wait, what's the topic of the day?
I got one.
No, I'm topic Terry.
I'm sorry, topic, Terry.
You're calling cameraman.
No, I'm camera Colin.
Cameraman Colin.
Cameraman Colin.
Cameraman Colin. Yep. No, he's cameraman Colin.
Throw me a topic then, Terry.
Okay, Vikings.
The Vikings. That's not a topic I know much about, if I'm honest.
Vikings didn't.
I've got an idea, topic, Terry. Am I allowed to give you an idea?
Hang on, I'll say so.
Alright.
Vikings didn't actually have like pointed hats.
How do you know that? Stop knocking about
Yeah, because
that.
I went to school and they were just like iron helmets. They didn't have the horn sticking out. The
Okay.
horn idea was from somewhere else. Okay, go on, cameraman Colin.
Right, I've got an idea. Why don't we discuss the car game that we play
Oh
and
no.
why we play it?
Why we play it?
Yeah, why do you play it?
Oh, but quite, it's fun.
Should we explain the game?
I mean, it's called the car game.
No, it's not just called the
There's
car
no
game.
way to explain.
No, there is. So we go out, the three of us with Josh, don't we?
Yeah.
And we pick a car brand each. And we go for a
Should
walk.
Josh be on one of these someday?
Maybe, but he's a bit young. I've got a hard enough time convincing Mum to put you on it, let alone Josh. So we pick a car brand. So we might pick Mercedes, for example.
Yeah.
You will be Audi and Josh might be BMW, and I'm picking those at random. You're right there.
I found a medic place.
First aid box, yeah. Medic. Oh my God, American.
I'm sorry. I don't even know it's American.
So we pick a car brand, and the person that sees the most cars of that brand wins.
Yeah.
And the reason I like it is because when I was 3 or 4, Nanny will tell you better than me. In those days, you didn't have to wear seatbelts, and I used to sit up on the back seat in their car, looking out the back window, naming all the cars that went by. I could name every car on the road, even at
Is
3
that
or 4
where the
years
car
old.
game came?
That's where the car game came from. So what you're doing, you're getting familiar with all the different car brands.
Yeah, like Nissan, Kia,
But yesterday, Mum wanted to take your mind off the fact that you were starting school today, and she offered you all of these really extravagant suggestions for stuff to do. And what did you say you'd rather do?
car game.
You'd rather go for a walk and play the car game. You're
Yeah.
simple like your dad.
Yeah.
So we play the car game, and that is one of your most favourite pastimes now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Why do you like it though?
Well, because it's like competition. I really like doing it with Josh because he always picks easy ones, doesn't he? So
Well, he
like,
picks Ford or blooming Volkswagen.
Yeah,
There's, like,
yeah.
one on every drive.
yeah, that's what's fun about it. Like beating him when he's like chose like a really easy car is a really good feeling, isn't it?
Yeah. Beating Josh in general is a really good feeling.
Why?
Not for him,
No.
because he's a really bad loser.
I know.
Shocking loser.
I mean, my friend Alex is a really bad loser as well.
There's a lot of similarities with Alex and Josh.
I know. And that's why I'm saying Josh might have dyslexia, because Alex has dyslexia and Josh is very similar to Alex. Wait, you think we couldn't talk about anyone else? Except for me, you, Mum, and Josh.
Yeah, we probably need to cut that out.
Oh. Fine.
We've got to be careful.
Yeah, but it won't make any sense.
No, we'll cut it earlier.